The Gambia mourns the passing of Alhaji Fafa Edrissa, a respected legal expert, human rights advocate, and mentor. His influence on the country's legal and political spheres lasted for decades. This morning, President Barrow received the former Tanzanian President Jakaya Kikwete as a special envoy of Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Kingdom of Tanzania. The finals of the 5th edition of the QCell-sponsored National Quranic Competition and the 2nd edition of the National Azan were held on Wednesday at Q City in Bijilo. Also on Wednesday, the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, Abibatu Drame, appeared before lawmakers at the National Assembly for her first questioning session since taking office in 2024, where she addressed several key issues concerning her ministry. Saja Balde, the renowned Gambian female photographer who has broken barriers, changed narratives, and inspired a new generation of photographers, shared her journey and deep passion for sports photography.
Born on September 18, 1942 in Sambang, Nyamina West District, Fafa Edrissa began his journey from humble beginnings, one that will leave an indelible mark on the Gambia's law and governance. A graduate of the prestigious universities of London and Kiel, he was more than just a lawyer. He was a dedicated guardian of justice, with his influence reaching far beyond the courtroom into the very corridors of power. Fafa's pursuit of knowledge took him from Armitage High School to Kiel and London universities, where he earned a BA in Law and Political Science, an LLB, and an MA in Politics, before being called to the bar in 1975. Returning to the Gambia, he began his career as a magistrate and state counsel, later entering private practice in 1979. His dedication led him to serve as Attorney General and Minister of Justice from 1982 to 1984, a role he later held again. Known as the Mobile Law Library, a title given by Bola Carol, Fafa also mentored many lawyers, including 4 of his sons, who became successful legal practitioners. His contributions extended far beyond legal practice. In 1983, he played a key role in founding the Gambia Law Reform Commission, working to modernize and decolonize the country's legal system. In 2025, just months before his passing, he spearheaded the launch of Justice, the Gambia's first law magazine, further cementing his legacy as a passionate advocate for legal education and access to justice. In his tribute, High Court Judge Justice Ibrahima Jaite emphasized Fafambay's pioneering role in founding the annual legal year celebrations. His visionary efforts in establishing the Faculty of Law at the University of the Gambia, and his instrumental role in founding the Gambia Law School. Beyond his legal work and influence in governance, Fafa was also a prolific writer and eloquent orator. His works, including In the Service of My Beliefs and A Senegambian Insight, offered a profound reflection of a mind deeply engaged with the socio-political landscape of his homeland. At the QCell Quranic Recitation Competition and Azan Finals, held at Q City on Wednesday, Q Group Chairman Mohamed Jah paid tribute to the late Alhaji Mbaye.
He was a good person. We saw him walking alongside my late dad, Imam Masjah, and together they made significant contributions to Islam. We pray that Allah grants him Jannah.
Lands and Religious Affairs Minister Hamad Nkeba also paid tribute to Alhaji Mbaye, praising his unwavering dedication to his country and his selflessness in sharing knowledge.
He performed Umrah not long ago, and Allah took him on Laylatul Qadr, a blessed night in Islam. We place our hope in Allah's mercy upon him. May Allah grant us what He has granted to Fafa. When a person dedicates himself to his country, gains knowledge, and shares it selflessly, even after Allah calls him, he should be remembered in prayer.
Since his passing, many Gambians have used social media to honor the late Mr. Mbai, reflecting on his major contributions to the country's legal and political landscape. Lawyers, former colleagues, students, and ordinary Gambians have shared heartfelt tributes, highlighting his unwavering commitment to justice, mentorship, and human rights. May Allah grant him Jannah. For QTV News, I am Julden Yai.
Following a closed-door meeting with President Barrow at the State House in Banjul, Kikwete revealed that his visit is to deliver a special message from President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, one of Africa's only female heads of state, to her counterpart President Adama Barrow. He emphasized that the message focused on strengthening cooperation and solidarity between the Gambia and Tanzania.
Essentially, President Samia appreciates the cordial relations that so happily exist between our two countries. And this is a long history. From the time of independence of the Gambia, the independence of our country, your first president, Sir Dauda Jawala, yes, and our first president, Julius Nyerere, they had cordial working relationship. They were comrades in arms, supporting each other and working together for the benefit of the African continent. The message is about cooperation and solidarity between our two countries. There are so many things that we have to do together, and there is commitment on the side of President Samia Suluhu Hassan to support Gambia in whatever way, and we've also been asking for support from the Gambia, the continued cooperation and understanding. Yes, I have congratulated the President on his leadership. The country is quiet, is calm. There is progress that is evident. He has also appreciated the work that our president is doing.
Kikwete, who served as Tanzania's fourth president from 2005 to 2015, was also the country's Minister of Foreign Affairs from 1995 to 2005 under former President Benjamin Mkapa. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Across the country.
These two events, which culminated in a grand iftar, highlight the Q Group's ongoing commitment to promoting Islam and inspiring young people to pursue Islamic knowledge. Out of over 200 participants from across the country, 49 students from various schools took part in Wednesday's finals, showcasing their skills and mastery of the Quran as they recited verses from the Holy Scripture as directed by the judges, to the delight of the audience. Alhaji Imam Usman Jah, chairman of the Q Group Quranic competition, explained the competition format and the different categories involved.
256 ñoo bokk ci xëccoo bi.
335 students from 256 schools across the country registered for this year's Quranic competition, with 295 participating nationwide. From that pool, 49 students made it to the finals, competing in the quarter Quran, half Quran, and full Quran recitation categories. For the Azan competition, 170 students registered nationwide. Your contribution to Islam in this country have not gone unnoticed. As we celebrate this moment of pride for all Muslims, I pray that Allah continues to bless QCell. Anyone who invests their resources in the way of Allah will only prosper. Given what you, Mr. Jah, and QCell have been doing over the years for Islam and across various sectors in this country and beyond, it is no surprise that Q Group continues to grow. Inshallah, you will continue to experience growth in your business. On behalf of the government, I thank you for your contribution to our country's development.
Mohammed Jah, chairman of the Q Group, stated that the event marked a moment of gratitude for the Q Group of companies, especially to the government for creating an enabling environment, to its customers for their continued patronage, and to religious leaders for their prayers and support. He encouraged young people to seek knowledge and called for increased support for imams and religious leaders.
My late father recommended organizing iftar with religious leaders, and we began this tradition in 2009 with some imams. Over the years, we have made it a point to provide iftar to many communities across the country. I am happy that you all honored our invitation. However, I would like to remind and encourage everyone here to always remember the imams. Please support them as much as you can. They play a crucial role in maintaining peace within society, but they are often overlooked. For us at the Q Group, I assure you of our continued support.
The following winners in the various categories received cash prizes. Abdullah Mohammed Selu Jallo and Mohammed Ali Alfaba, the winner and runner-up, were awarded certificates and cash prizes of $25,000 and $50,000 respectively. In the half Quran category, Mohammed Sanusi Ahmad Jallo and Ahmad Sanusi Muhammad Ba received $50,000 and $75,000. Abdullah Usman Jase and Abdurrahman Boy were awarded $75,000 and $100,000 respectively for emerging as winner and runner-up in the full Quran category. Mohammed Sane and Muhammad Laminja also received $15,000 and $20,000 as the winner and runner-up in the Azan category. Following the award ceremony, guests were treated to an iftar, symbolizing unity and devotion among hundreds of Muslims from across the country who gathered at Q City to celebrate Islam. Ansumane So Nyasi for KTV News.
fii mooy fan fii mooy Inessa di place bi nga xam ne moom la ñëpp taam place bii bépp xeetu ataaya bu baax rek bu dugg see ci dëkk bi xamal li fii rek la am bara wërga bii neex na lool saf na ba pare tamit nag am gu bu neex boo ko naanee rek da ngay kontaan ci saasi añ ba suur ba gëreesal li nga lekk jëndal baara ataaya bii ndax moom la ñëpp taam gis nga sama client bii ataaya bu neex bu ne moom laa koy njëkk a jox ndax moom kat ataaya bu neex rek lay wër baara warga bii mooy warga bi gën te moo gën a saf kon nag ràññee leen ko bu baax kon daw leen gaaw ca Banjul foofu ca Inessa di place bi nga xam ni foofu rek nga ko mën a amee wholesale wala retail mu ngi foofu ci boori court house bi foofu ca Banjul wala nga daw ci bépp marché bépp supermarket bépp boutique fépp foo dugg rek di nga mën a am baara warga bii nga xam ne moom la ñëpp di wër tey baara warga moo dàq ci warga yi man maa ngi ci moom ndax su ma mënee ataaya moom rek lay naan.
Fantankano TV lale TV wistero aninga jararo Gambia loptanol to abikajo.
Let's ensure that no child or adolescent's life or future is threatened by TB.
Nde nawnare TV hida way dum dandude fi wata nange kono non si tawi ne nawnare TV hida wondi e mayre hida way nyawndare do e nder Gambia te ayobata hay fus
kala hikana tunanti jangoke be wati TB sahare wadi angana kita maga kanu nanti anga kalla anatu nanti haga angana daga hospital hagi gode anta tugana so kono na tukundu kana mogo tukundu nanti TB sahare wadi angana daga anta hagi gode tugana
TB di jangoro buño oye tuberculosis mun nga see fagaru te tamit mun nga see faju su fekkee ne am nga ko te doo si fay dara fii si réewi Gambia.
Being diagnosed with tuberculosis is not a death sentence. The disease is curable. Diagnosis and treatment is absolutely free in the Gambia.
National Assembly members raised a series of important issues with Minister Abibatu Drame, all aimed at improving the country's educational landscape. The NAM for Combo East, Honorable Abdusau, kicked off the session by raising concerns about student mobility in his constituency. He inquired about the ministry's efforts to provide school buses, hoping to alleviate the transportation challenges that many students face in getting to school.
With more schools open around the country, the ministry has put in plans to expand the services. In the Greater Banjul area, both the number of buses has increased and there was addition of new routes. The next target is to move into the remaining parts of Combo and into the provinces, and GTSC is willing to collaborate. However, the limited factors in the budget lines, as as we struggle to pay our current bills, are some of the reasons that are impeding our progress in these areas. Thank you.
The discussions then shifted to another pressing issue raised by the NAM for Tumanda constituency, Honorable Falli M. Kora. He requested an update from Minister Drame on the delayed supply of stationery to lower basic schools in his constituency, highlighting the growing concern over the lack of essential learning materials.
I want to assure the honorable member that the ministry has adequate stationery in our stores awaiting distribution. Our service directorate is currently working on the logistics for a countrywide distribution.
One of the most urgent concerns raised was the aftermath of windstorms that have caused extensive damage to schools in the North Bank region since 2021. Many schools have suffered severe roof damage, significantly disrupting students' learning environments. The NAM for the region sought clarification on the government's plans to rehabilitate the affected schools.
Unfortunately, before work could commence, there were budget cuts and the concerned budget lines were affected. The ministry made a submission in 2024 budget so that we take up the award of the contracts, but unfortunately, no funds were allocated. A resubmission is being made in the upcoming budget, and we crave the support of the members for approval since it is a common concern.
By actively engaging with the minister on critical issues such as transportation, resource allocation, and infrastructure rehabilitation, the NAMs demonstrate their commitment to ensuring the government remains accountable for its education policies and initiatives. Osman Jata, reporting for QTV News. Sadio Balde, Gambia's first female sports photographer, began her journey fueled by a childhood love for cameras and capturing life's moments. In 2020, shortly after finishing high school, her life took a pivotal turn when her elder brother gifted her a camera for her birthday. This thoughtful gesture sparked a passion that quickly propelled her onto the national stage. Balancing academics with her newfound passion, Sayo enrolled at the Gambia Technical Training Institute and began photographing social events to support her studies. These early experiences helped her hone her skills and save for better equipment. Although she started in social photography, she soon shifted her focus to the more challenging field of sports photography.
dama dee gis sport photographers outside the Gambia, but dama ko dee gis si Gambia bi fii, so I decided to.
I saw sports photographers outside of the Gambia, but I didn't see any in the Gambia. So I decided to try sports photography. Even though I had no prior experience, I knew that the Gambia was going to play against South Sudan in Senegal. So I applied for accreditation and was accepted. When I arrived at the stadium in Senegal, I was surprised to see so many male photographers.
She covered the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations and the 13th African Games in Ghana. Additionally, she participated in the Young Sports Reporters Program in Saudi Arabia. Currently, She serves with the West African Football Union and Fortune Football Club. Sajo's creativity in photography has earned her widespread recognition from her clients. Saliu, a player for Fortune FC, elaborates on her impact.
Her work is outstanding, and the quality of her pictures is incredible. Whenever she is not around, we feel bored because every time we post pictures online, people always praise the photographer for the crisp, clean shots.
Sajo Balde's presence in such a male-dominated industry is nothing short of groundbreaking. She is not only a trailblazer for Gambian women, but also for women in sports photography around the world.
Best bu ma am si yeneen ndaw yi ñu ñëw def sport photography mooy nañ am patient.
My advice to youth interested in sports photography is to be patient. It's not very lucrative in the Gambia because our sports are still gradually developing. Young people need to have ambition and a clear goal of going beyond the Gambia, reaching international stages and representing the country.
This is Sajo's message for parents.
My advice to parents is to allow their children to follow their passions. If my parents had forced me to pursue a different path, I wouldn't have reached this level.
Looking ahead to the 2026 FIFA World Cup, Sajo has a clear goal to be there.
Right now, next year, World Cup.
Covering the World Cup will be a huge achievement for me. But more importantly, I want to show Gambian sports photographers that it's possible to get there. When we went to AFCON, many felt it wasn't achievable. But it's possible if you make your work outstanding.
Her story serves as a powerful reminder that with determination and belief in oneself, obstacles can be overcome and dreams can become a reality. Osman Jata, reporting for QTV News.
Endometriosis is a painful condition that impacts around 200 million women and girls globally. As reported by the World Health Organization, it occurs when a tissue similar to the lining of the uterus grows outside the uterus, leading to severe menstrual cramps and potentially making it more difficult to conceive. Despite its widespread impact, many women endure years of uncertainty before receiving a proper diagnosis, largely due to the lack of awareness and the normalization of menstrual pain. The World Health Organization reports that endometriosis affects up to 10% of women aged 15 to 44, with 1 out of 10 women globally living with this condition. Fatou Jom is an endo warrior and the CEO of Let's Fight Endo Gambia, a leading organization dedicated to raising awareness and supporting those affected by endometriosis.
Don't never look at yourself or think of yourself as, I'm not good enough, because you are good enough. Whether you have a child or not, whether you are dealing with difficult marriages, just know that you are good enough. Just look at yourself and do what's best for you, because nobody can love you better than you can. So please, whatever you are, if you're dealing with endometriosis, you have us. We are here. Let's Fight Endo is here in the Gambia to help them.
Phoebian Aina Grant is a reproductive health specialist.
So I want to call everybody's attention. Once you are experiencing such, the first aid that you should do is to communicate with your parents to give an aid. If the parents don't understand, the parents should take you to the nearest health facility to see the OBGYN and the obstetrician gynecologist, or the even nurse midwife to explain to you about this endometriosis. Because we should not ignore about this. It is life-threatening, and also it can affect the individual lifelong.
As the awareness grows, women around the world are gaining the courage to share their stories, advocate for better health care, and fight for a future where endometriosis is no longer ignored. Organizations like the Endometriosis Foundation and the World Health Organization continue to urge for increased research funding, as there is currently no cure for the condition, and treatment options remain limited. In many countries, women still face significant barriers to accessing specialized care, often suffering in silence. Aisa Tubari, QTV News.
Legal expert, human rights advocate and mentor whose influence on the country's legal and political spheres lasted for decades. This morning, President Barrow received the former Tanzanian President Jakaya Kikwete as special envoy of Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Kingdom of Tanzania. The finals of the 5th edition of the QCell-sponsored National Quranic Competition and the 2nd edition of the National Azan were held on Wednesday at QCT in Bijilo. On Wednesday, the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, Abibatu Drame, appeared before lawmakers at the National Assembly for her first questioning session since taking office in 2024, where she addressed several key issues concerning her ministry. Saja Balde, the renowned Gambian female photographer who has broken barriers, changed narratives, and inspired a new generation of photographers, shared her journey and deep passion for sports photography. That's all for now in this